3 inaugural balls, a morning prayer service, a visit to the CIA. It's been a very busy 24 hours for our new president, Donald Trump.
From this day forward, a new vision will govern our land. From this day forward, it's going to be only America first. America first. We must speak our minds openly, debate our disagreements honestly, but always pursue solidarity. When America is united, America is totally unstoppable.
We're all good people. Whether you're a Republican or Democrat, doesn't make any difference. We're going to get along.
We're not playing games. The work begins. I want to thank everybody. We love you. We're going to be working for you, and we're going to be producing results. Let me ask you, should I keep the Twitter going or not? Keep it going? I think so.
President Trump promised to hit the ground running on day one, and he did. Starting last night, within hours of taking office, he signed an executive order aimed at rolling back Obamacare. Today, on his first full day as president, he paid a visit to one of the agencies he sharply criticized in the run-up to the inauguration, the CIA.
There is nobody that feels stronger about the intelligence community and the CIA than Donald Trump. I am with you 1,000%. And the reason you're my first stop is that, as you know, I have a running war with the media. They are among the most dishonest human beings on earth. They sort of made it sound like I had a feud with the intelligence community. And I just want to let you know, the reason you're number one stop, it is exactly the opposite. I love you. I respect you. There's nobody I respect more. You're going to do a fantastic job. And we're going to start winning again, and you're going to be leading the charge.
All right, so, Greg, after all of those tweets that went back and forth, mostly, I think, aimed at the political appointees of the Obama administration over at the CIA, that was his first stop, and he said they're going to be back so much they're going to be begged. They're going to beg him to stop backing them.
Yeah, they'll be tired of the backing. Look, I thought this was really interesting watching that, because he hasn't changed. He won't change. He will never change. That speech is exactly the same Donald Trump you had 18 months ago. And what was the response? Overwhelmingly positive. The CIA looks at Donald Trump the way a lot of people look at him, which is like, even when he goes off on tangents, they accept him. They accept the tangents. When he talks about, I'm a smart guy, or he talks about feeling, they laugh like they're listening to their lovable uncle. So they're willing to forgive these kind of like unusual tangents that we all grin and think is kind of surreal, because the big picture they embrace. They feel that he does have their back. And I thought that was interesting. I thought it might have gotten rid of that. I mean, what happened to that whole story about there being a conflict? That didn't seem like a conflict was present there between the CIA and Trump.
Well, I do think that was actually, I do think it was aimed at the political appointees of President Obama. And actually, Kimberly, we still are without a CIA director being confirmed by the United States Senate. In fact, last night, Senator Burr, who chairs that committee, said, there's no reason, really, that the Democrats can't go ahead and vote him in, and then Donald Trump was making that push today.
He was. I thought this was a masterful move on his part, because he takes office, he right away goes over to the CIA, embraces them, says, don't believe what you hear in the media. There is no feud between us. I have respect for you. I respect you more than anybody else. You're going to be leading the charge. So you have to feel good about that, because that's what leadership looks like. When you go and confront the people directly, you talk to them, you say, you're going to have my support, you're going to have my backing, you will not be forgotten either. You have the resources to help make America safe again. And he's putting it to the politicians and the Democrats that are trying to play games and play like, political footsie here with, putting through these appointments. So in this sense, I think, why not? Go. Maybe it's not done before. Doesn't matter. Go there directly. Make your case. The American people can hear it, too. And then it just makes the Democrats, in my opinion, look foolish for not putting him through. And he praised his pick.
Eric, can I play this soundbite of Donald Trump talking about ISIS? He's going to need the CIA to help him in that fight, and he talked about it specifically today.
We've been fighting these wars for longer than any wars we've ever fought. We have not used the real abilities that we have. We've been restrained. We have to get rid of ISIS. We have to get rid of ISIS. We have no choice. Radical Islamic terrorism And I said it yesterday. It has to be eradicated, just off the face of the earth. But we're going to end it. It's time. It's time right now to end it.
Eric, I got the feeling that the reason they were applauding is that they are chomping at the bit because they want to do more and they feel like they've been restrained.
Yeah, for me, it's uplifting. First of all, Trump showing up at the CIA on his first day, probably to bury the hatchet, so to speak, and say whatever was going on, let's clear the air. I'm behind you. You're going to get so much backing, you're going to be sick of the backing, as you point out. But it's nice to see a commander-in-chief who respects, honors, and appreciates the men and women who keep us safe, whether it's military, intelligence community, or law enforcement for that matter. And he has been that guy straight through. Yes, he did have a dust-up with the political appointees, as you point out. But versus... You know, that's a conservative viewpoint, what he just portrayed right there. We're behind you, CIA, do what you got to do, versus the liberal elites, the former president, who've kind of handcuffed all of those, the agencies, the law enforcement, the military, rules of engagement, whatnot.
Portray them as criminals.
Not defending them in international courts.
They couldn't be aggressive. I think that was a signal to everyone who's defending us and keeping us safe. Hey, you know, go out and get the bad guys. Let's do what we have to do to make the world safe again, especially America safe.
What do you think of that characterization, Geraldo?
Well, I think that because we love him, we are willing to ignore the last 3 months of history. It is phenomenal to me how what was the topic of countless stories with the feud, and I don't believe the intelligence agencies, and I know more than they do, and who says it was the Russians, could have been some fat kid in his mother's basement, this and that. It went on and on and on, and today was a remediation of that. You know, I love the guy. Godspeed, POTUS 45. I'm 100% behind you. I was so proud to congratulate you on the phone last night. You carry our hopes and our aspirations, but I think that it is really ignoring reality. It's like we're smoking something, that we're going to forget everything that was said because it's convenient. He goes to the CIA, so just forget all the history that came up to today's visit.
I think it's more about Brennan.
Well, I think it was, he wanted to go today to Pompeo, was his name, the congressman who's going to be the CIA director. He wanted, his plan was to go and introduce him to the agents because he's a strong guy, you know, a fierce guy, a veteran, a Harvard grad, and all the rest of it.
You know who appreciated Donald Trump, President Trump showing up today? The CIA. Standing ovations, the room, you know, applauding him aggressively.
He's a movie star.
Yeah, but guess what? They're also tired of Brennan. They call him Comrade Brennan, just so you know.
Well, all I know is that he probably had some severe traffic jams, even for the president getting there, because we're burying the lead, the biggest day of protest
we are going to get to that
in the history of the nation. There's a you know, words have impact.
Yep.
You know, you can support a guy and love a guy and hope for his success, because his success is our success, but we can't rewrite history.
We're going to get to those protests in upcoming blocks, and we are also awaiting a press conference by new White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer. He said he'd be speaking around 5 o'clock, so we will bring that to you live as it comes. The other thing that happened today, Greg, is something that's sort of pro forma, I would suggest, is that the world leaders start to call and to offer their congratulations and to maybe put a little marker down. The two that we know about today that he spoke to, President Enrique Peña Nieto of Mexico and also Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, both asking him to keep open line of communication and that trade is really important, so let's keep our eye on the ball there, is what they were saying to him.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I'm happy with it.
Sounded positive.
Yeah, I mean, you got the guys up north, you guys got the guys down south. They're your neighbors in case you need a rake.
Or eggs.
Or
eggs.
What else?
Cup of sugar.
A wall.
A spot of tea.
NAFTA.
Yes, there you go.
It's all about NAFTA.
Absolutely
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely right.
That's a wise phone call.
It should have been the first phone call, you could argue.
And Trudeau. By the way, Trudeau, I hear, is having a little bit of price up for, what, 2 years? He's going to be re-elected in 2 years?
Yeah, you know what?
He's having a little bit of problems. problem.
You might run against him, the dude from Shark Tank. What's his name?
Neil,
Captain Happy.
Kevin O'Neill.
What's
What
his name?
have we started?
I don't know.
In America.
Way off topic now.
Yeah.
And then President Trump is going to meet with British Prime Minister Theresa May, and that will be her first visit since she took over. I'm excited for that.
I'm very excited. A lot of people were talking about that yesterday.
Well, your hubby is from Atlanta.
Yes, he is British.
Get the inside skinny.